There it goes. And there's that OEM torque converter.
Stamp plate, stamp cover, we should say.
Oh, it's just a...
No hot spots on it.
Well, it looks pretty clean. It's still got the sticker on it. So this is your stock flex plate, and yeah, it doesn't look like there's any cracking that I see.
Well, this is still a cover piece right here.
Oh,
so we'll
okay.
that if there is any
There's still a chance, but yeah, it's just a stamped piece of metal pretty much. Super tiny.
It's gonna be warm.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing.
I'm not seeing anything. I was a little optimistic.
Damn it. Okay.
That's if you're balancing, and then this is the actual
Okay, so the
torque
billet
plate.
one is an all-in-one essentially.
all-in-one. Now this is your actual torque plate that your converter bolts to. So all that torque goes through this flimsy little plate on these things. Believe it or not.
Well, that's kind of disappointing. What is that knock now? Oh man.
It's in the engine.
I mean, it can't be the bottom end of the engine because we would have engine wear in the oil analysis.
You would think so, yes.
So then the only thing left is a sensor issue combined with injector issue
Injector failure.
or something that we're not even thinking of. Wow, shit. Ugh. Oh well, at least I'm putting some performance parts in. When I flip it over, in comparison to this side, you can see like this piece just slowly rises and then this is dropped while this thing has a whole cutout and then rises up. Maybe it's even lighter. I don't know, the weight difference, have to check.
It is a very nice piece though. Very nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we'll use red Loctite.
And then Loctite torquing this back.
So all data repair is the program you use?
That's what we use for our repair database mainly.
Okay.
Some
Information and torques, and it's just like a service manual for a bunch of stuff.
Essentially, yes.
For reference, everybody, it's 10:30 a.m. We started shortly after 8 o'clock. And so essentially, like, to get to the point of the Allison transmission being out, Andrew did record time, essentially like 2 hours. All the time was lost trying to get the starter out. So you could have done it in an hour and a half if you had all the tools from the previous experience ready, right? There you go. So this man's pretty quick, huh? So the transfer of rust could have been from the mount here on the torque converter. So you can notice the center dowel, that's what guides it in and locks in just slightly. Now, and notice the oil, guys. This is what we're trying to figure out right now is where is this little, it's formed all inside here. And if we take a look, again, the oil along the bottom, it's around the top. So we're thinking pull off this plate, which should be all these bolts, and check all the torques, of course, as well when we put it back together or look at it. Where is the oil coming from? Where is the knock coming from? Flex plate bolts, those are some serious bolts actually. So these are torqued to yield after like you put 100 pounds into them or so, and then torqued to yield another 360.
Seal retainer.
And then it gives you time estimates and stuff like that.
Yeah, it gives you flat rate time.
And so for reference, the flat rate time for the transmission drop and reinstall was around 9.5, you said before, right, on the computer?
Yeah. Yes. Actually, can you rotate the engine for me, please?
Yeah. The oil drain right there, guys. There's definitely oil coming from that spot, so we could check that. The problem is the whole oil. See the oil pump and everything? Yeah, because obviously where the filter attaches, if we start to take this plate off, it's going to be a lot of seals, a lot of issues from that. And, like the oil is moving around the outside essentially with the oil cooler lines, so check all the torques, pull that out and redo it, the drain, and go from there. And check this seal as well. It seems to be leaking out. Make sure there's the Teflon tape in there.
Taking this off as a can of worms because oil cooler patches for this, right?
Yeah.
So
A real can of worms.
as I found out a month ago.
Yeah.
There it is, guys. So a little bit of oil came out, and I was saying this to Andrew earlier, guys, is I wish I bought a 3-inch down pipe. And what are the other pipes again?
Well, it's your right up pipe.
The up
from
pipe.
the manifold to the turbo.
Yeah, I didn't plan ahead, and nothing in stock.
Once the EGR cooler has been removed, those have the tendency to crack where the flex piece is for the EGR feed. So.
And it's a lot more accessible right now.
We're just cleaning shit up before we put it back together. Just getting rid of all this residual oil that was behind, which I think is just lower oil pan leaking.
And torque converter.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pull that out.
Put this tranny.
Will it fit under here?
Is that as low as it goes?
That's as low as that goes.
Do we have roof clearance? Well, we're. Oh, you got it. Nice. Well, you can see the bearings back here. That's where the ATF's doing. Again, 80 pounds, bud. Well, maybe this one's lighter. Oh, there's actual plug in the bottom here too, or something in the middle. That's it, guys. That's your Allison transmission.
Yeah, one thing that's really sweet with Allison is you just unbolt the whole bell housing here. You unbolt the whole bell housing and the whole pump comes right off.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The bell housing pulls right off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole bell housing, the pump and everything, like where your filter housing is all part of that.
And all those bolts look
Yeah.
tight.
Oh yeah, that won't be an issue.
I'm just looking for ideas of if there's any knock sound coming from something. What about and the shaft and?
I don't think you're gonna feel anything in that thing. It's so beefy. But yeah, once you have those out, you pull the whole rotating drum assembly out. Inside of that, your C1 and C2 clutch packs.
Yeah, nice piece of equipment, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm just thinking about this NOx issue. The reason we're doing all this is the knock, and even pulling all the injectors, I don't think that's really going to be my solution either. I see what you mean. There's actually a lot of fluid in there.
It's a heavy fucking unit.
They're getting like a brand new working torque converter back that they rebuild into the new machine.
Yeah.
They use the components and
Cut the cover off of it.
yeah, they replace the whole back and they replace them in internals, but they get to reuse it a lot. That's why they want that core back. Watch your head. So, is this reused? Do you think?
I believe so. I believe that's still. Oh, it's a different pitch.
Plus, and then they have their marks in there. Yeah.
That pitch looks different to me. Unless I could be wrong. It could be reused.
It looks very similar.
Yeah.
But then, and then the weld mark is a totally different spot. It would be cut up here more.
Yeah, that's just a different cover, right? So you gotta cut
picture
that
it.
one off, and then they'll weld this cover on. You
Yeah.
can see how thick your front cover is now versus just that stamped
Oh,
steel
it's-
one, right?
It's huge compared, yeah. Definitely. The backside's the biggest difference for sure, externally. But again, we can't see what's inside. 3D, triple disc billet in that one, and so it's gonna have some nice clutch plates and everything.
And notice how this one has no balancing weights on the outside, whereas this one has some
Oh.
balancing weights.
Yeah.
So
It's machined to be correct.
they've milled the front of it probably to be balanced.
It's so nice.
Very nice piece. Oh.
Vacuum sealed.
There she goes. Yeah.
Oh, look, you can see inside it. It's nice because you have lights on your bench. Bunch of splines. What we're using is Amsol's fuel efficient ATF, so it's low viscosity ATF. That's what is recommended.
Yeah, this is just lube to protect the seals from getting damaged.
Yeah, as you slide her in. We all know what that's about.
Never going dry. Just put a couple liters in there to begin with. I don't want it too heavy. Let fluid work its way through.
This guy's been in the gym.
It's my gym.
I know. Mechanic gym.
I think we're just gonna send it.
80 pounds. Here we go.
Good. I don't think it's still all it might be.
Were you looking at where your pump was and
Oh, in terms of relation.
No, I tried. I couldn't see it in there. There she goes. That's it.
that sounded good?
That's as far as she'll go. See? Suncoast in. All right. Thank you.
That looks high performance.
That is a nice fucking piece.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, so the new bolts that I picked up for $5.50 Canadian per bolt. And what's the torque to yield on these? What's the torque to start with?
86 foot-pounds plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees. Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote him on that, guys. I'll put it in the subtitles below.
Yeah. We'll get post plate.
Okay.
Need some light.
I got the flashlight on here, right?
Perfect. So there's our locating dowel. Locating dowel. So let's start on the top side. Wasn't that way, right? We almost have the engine in the right position. There's our locator hole. New flywheel bolts, 58 foot-pounds plus 60 degrees plus an additional 60 degrees. So it's gonna be tight. But this might take a little while.
Okay.
Ready? First step, 58 foot-pounds. Now we'll set this to degrees. We gotta set it down flat. Set that down to 60.
So now you can set the degree of angle.
Yield.
What do they charge for these ones we've had here?
They're pretty penny.
500 or 1,000?
I want to say about 600 probably.
Okay, yeah. Ah, that's reasonable. Some Snap-on stuff is ridiculous, you know, and
Well, this is a precision tool that I use quite frequently, and for doing cylinder heads on a diesel, there's no other way to do it without these things.
how many foot-pounds?
280. That's 4.
What do you call this gym exercise?
Oh, I call it my
This is called the flex plate thrust.
full upper body. Oh, so that's all 8. Holy fuck. 60 degrees, now we gotta do an additional 60 on top of that.
So this is why this doesn't come out, guys. That's why it's Loctited in. Okay, here we go, the final measure.
I think we have to lower this waist. So I get some. Oh, man.
No wonder those bolts are like super huge.
Holy fuck.
But it's funny, the bolts that connect to the torque converter are tiny.
Yep. Okay, I need something to fucking push. Okay, ready?
Yeah, this is quite entertaining. This will be the intro. So this is why getting the other studs that aren't torque to yield would have been easier with the impact and 150 foot-pounds on the other ones, right?
Is that what the ARPs are?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, because ERP won't be stuck torque to yield. As I said, you just put the nut on.
Man, this is...
Got her?
I'm just pushing it. It wants to come out, but it's fighting me.
Okay, 2 more.
Oh, the whole engine is moving, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm
moving
leaning
in
on
its
the
rubber
fucking thing.
mounts. Back she goes. Maybe we don't want, it's not gonna fall out. Oh, it's locked in there pretty good too. Okay guys, reassembly time. Up she goes. We got the new flex plate there and the new torque converter inside the bell housing. Oh, you got the hose for the dipstick?
Tube.
We talked about this. Dipstick, huh?
Oh, that dipstick.